In this video, we get our first look at the Fermentasaurus by Oxebar, and that's coming up next. How's it going? My name's Brian. I'd like to welcome you to another product review. If you want to learn more about electric brewing, see more product reviews like this one and all other home brewing related stuff, consider subscribing, and if you do, click that bell so you don't miss a video when we put it out. As always, full disclosure on any review that I do before I get started, I was sent the Fermentasaurus by MoreBeer, and they also sent a pressurized kit with it, which I'm super excited about. As a matter of fact, I was so excited about this fermenter that I actually bought another one. So more on that in just a little bit. It is a 35 liter or 9.25 gallon unitank. So it's a fermenter that you can ferment in, pressurize for fermentation, and actually serve out of if you so desire. I probably won't use it that way other than the fermentation and the pressurization for carbonation. The standard model with the airlock in it is 39.1 inches or 995 millimeters tall. It is 13.5 or 343 millimeters wide. And just a comparison here for you so you can kind of see what those numbers mean in real life. I'm going to put up here a corny keg, my Speedle fermenter, fermentation bucket, one of the 7-gallon fermentation buckets, and an acid carboy that I used to ferment as well. So you can kind of get some kind of an idea of real world size of how big the vessel is. It is made from PET, which, as you may or may not know, is probably one of the, next to stainless steel and glass, is probably one of the least oxygen permeable type of materials that there are. It is very lightweight. It only weighs 5.8 pounds empty, which would be 2.64 kilos. It comes with, standard, it comes with a screw-on lid that has a 3-piece airlock in it. And some of the people talked about the airlock being a little bit different in some of the online reviews that I saw, but that is not the case. It's pretty stock standard. The unit comes with a nice stainless steel stand with handles that has a little bit of a cushioning plastic in the bottom down there. It comes with a 3-piece butterfly valve, and that valve has roughly 1.25 inch opening. And that valve actually has a couple of O-rings in it that prevent the threads from actually touching any of the liquid, so you don't have to worry about any kind of crud creeping into your beer from that. Below that, it actually has a collection ball, and that collection ball is 500 milliliter or 16.9 ounces. If you want to adjust your recipes to account for the loss to that whenever you remove your trub, you can actually calculate 0.13 gallons as well. It also comes with some sort of bottling attachment that is for the bottom. I don't know if I really use that. I'm thinking I might try to modify that and put some sort of an oxygenation air stone in the bottom of it for oxygenating wort. As I said before, it is a pressurizable unit. It will allow you to pressurize up to 30 psi or 2.4 bar. Now, I did do some testing on that, and I'll show some video here of that. I ran it up to about 28 psi because I wanted to find out, in some of the videos from Oxebar, it does show this pressure relief valve, and they kind of hinted around that maybe you could use it to do some fermentation with it, some pressurized fermentation. I ran it all the way up to 28 psi, and I could not get this thing to blow. So my recommendation is probably not to use this for a pressurized fermentation, even though the standard lid that the airlock goes into and the pressurization lid work the same way. It has threads, and this airlock will actually transfer between either one of those units. Now, the pressurization kit also comes with a dip tube that has a floating pickup tube on it. And the way that works is the stainless steel ball holds the tube up in place, and then there's a small stainless steel tube on the bottom of that float that actually floats inside of your beer. And what it allows you to do is actually rack off of the top of your liquid. With this unit, you can actually use it to serve your beer and get that super clear beer right off of the top from the start. One of the things that I had not really an issue with, but I was unsure about, was the gradation mark tape for the side. It comes with a piece of heat tape thermometer, and it also comes with a measuring gradation tape that goes on the side. And I wasn't 100% sure about where to put that tape on the unit because it didn't really give you any instructions in the book. I've heard you put the end of the tape at one part on the fermenter, or you put it up at the top or whatever. So what I did was I trust but verify. And I actually filled up my pitcher with 1 gallon of water, did that 5 times, poured it in. When I got all the way up to the top, I marked that mark, And then I'm going to show you here a great way to be able to put that sticker on without making any bubbles in it. I'm just kind of, you know, it's kind of one of those pet peeves of mine. I hate seeing stickers on things with bubbles underneath of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your Fermentasaurus, empty all the water out of it after you've measured that 5-gallon mark. Then my recommendation is you take a glass, put a little bit of soap in it, stir it up, get it nice and soapy, and then you'll put the tape into the soapy water. And I know this sounds counterintuitive because, you know, you would think glue on the tape and water. It does work. I worked in the automotive industry for many, many years, and that was one of the way we put stickers on vehicles, was by wetting it down with like a soapy solution. So do that, and one of the things that will let you do is that'll actually let you slide it around and position it in place before you actually press it down and get it adhered to the unit. So what I did was I found the 5-gallon mark, moved it around, got it stable, and then I just used a small kitchen spatula to be able to push some of the water out. So you can see from here in the video where I positioned my tape at for that 5-gallon mark. These are made in a pretty consistent mold, so I don't think you should have any issues with it. And if you want to use that, I think you should have good results. The pressurized kit is an optional accessory for the unit. There is another optional accessory for it, and that is a rotating racking arm. I don't really think you need it if you have the pressurization kit and you can rack off the top of there. You really don't need that rotating rack arm, but there is a small area down at the bottom of the unit that has a thicker area that you can actually install that rotating racking arm in. I'd have to say what excites me the most about this is being able to ferment under pressure. And the way that I'm going to accomplish that is a spunding valve. And that spunding valve does not come with the kit. At present, MoreBeer is actually out of stock of that. I did pick one up at another homebrew supply, and you can certainly make one yourself. Just search it on the internet. I can do a video for you guys if you're interested in seeing that. But I did purchase one, and the way that it works is basically it has a pop-off valve or a pressure relief valve at the top, and you can dial in the pressure of the fermentation. I have looked at doing some of the New England IPAs, and everything that I've read about those shows them fermenting under pressure. I don't know really the reason for that other than trying to prevent any kind of oxygen uptake. More importantly, one of the things I was excited about is doing some different temperature fermentations, because I've read a few things and I don't really, there's not a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of conflicting information, but I want to find out, can you ferment in one of these units under pressure at a higher temperature and prevent some of those phenols and some of those other off flavors? So my intention for purchasing the second one is so that I can do some experiments and share with you the findings that I have from fermenting under pressure at a higher temperature in one vessel, fermenting under normal circumstances at the same temperature in the other vessel, same yeast, same temperature, everything else, the wort the same. See if we can make some discoveries on whether or not you can ferment at a higher temperature under pressure and prevent some of those off flavors, which would be really great for someone that does not have a way to control their fermentation temperature or has a higher fermentation temperature in their natural environment. So a question for you. What are you currently fermenting under pressure in, and how does that process work for you? Some of our best tips and ideas come from you, our viewer. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. As always, we certainly appreciate it. We appreciate those of you that have purchased shirts from our website. We recently found another way for you to support the channel. I have put stickers on the website. If you're interested in purchasing those, they are $5, including shipping worldwide. So if you're interested, I'll put a link down in the description below. We appreciate the support as always. Thanks for watching. This has been Brian for Short Circuited Brewers. We will see you on the next video.